that one. Is this my cord or is this the other thing? No, it's the other thing. You fall apart when you're running through the dark. When they say everything, it happens for a reason. You can be thought enough, the perfect for a person. Someone who will be there when you start to fall apart. Guiding your direction when you're running through the dark. Oh, it's you and me. Oh, it's you and me. Hello, hello, everybody. I'm crocheting. This is going to be a it's going to be a really cool hat when I'm done. It'll be an open top hat, but then when you wear it as a hat and you don't have like hair to go through it, it'll be closed. So once I get this tube made, it'll look really cool. If I didn't need to sell it, I would be keeping it. It's gonna be a hat. And the way the hat works, that if you don't have a ponytail or you don't have locks, it'll stay closed on the top because of the way that it twists together with the hat, the way I'm gonna do it. But if you have long hair or a ponytail, it'll open around that. So it'll be really cool. It sounds kind of ridiculous, but thank you. Listen up, your earthly burdens will just become. This eventually will turn. It'll be red at the end. It's got like a very short pink transition from the blue, like a pinkish purple color. And then it'll be pink, and then it'll be red, like a brick red. I decided to make the hat this way because I didn't know how much of the red would show on the brim if I made it the normal way you make hats. And I chose not to do, starting with the red at the top, doing the traditional style because it looked like a boob hat. And I didn't want it to look like a boob hat because the rest of it was blue instead of like skin color. So a blue boob. It's not what I was going for. So I mean, I have no issue making a blue boob hat, but it's not what I wanted to make this one for. So when I saw you bleeding thunder, I could hear you scream. Solid to the air I breathe, open night and us, as softly as the rain. Hello. Lay down onto the skin, while you're raging, have no fear. Hear yourself to heaven, hold on tight, the night has come. Listen up, your earthly burdens. I really, really hate that TikTok is warning me when other people are going to lose their subscription. I don't need to do that. Like, that's not my business. Come on now. I already know that, like, technically when the number goes down, like, the number's already gone down, they're like, oh, you're in threat of losing your subscription. I'm like, I don't need to know that. You don't need to remind me. It takes up space on my comment section. And it's already small. I'm working on a hat. I'm working on untangling this first, but I'm working on a hat. So I can show you sort of right now, because it is technically long enough to fold, but it's not going to be long enough Right? Like, it's not my business. I already know the number's gonna go down. Like, I can see the numbers has gone down. Like, you don't have to, like, point that person out in my chat. I don't think other people can see it, but I don't need to see it. Because it takes up a whole line of in my chat. Oh, AJ's Potion Shop. That's a cool name. I used to go by AJ because my first name is Autumn Jude. That's cool. I like that. I like how shop is spelled too, the old-fashioned way. I love that. I assume AJ's Apothecary was taken, because that would have also been really cool. Hello. Hey Jess. How are you, darling? I got distracted because Billy went live, so I was gone longer than I anticipated because he went live and I wanted to see him because I hadn't seen his lives in a while. How is everybody tonight? I haven't been live in forever because I just haven't felt up to it, and there's no privacy now because there's so many people here. There we go. So take one. Okay, so the idea, this isn't the length that I want it, so keep in mind that when it is folded, it's going to be very small, but it is big enough that I can show you what it's supposed to look like, roughly, because I want it to be kind of like a what are they called? Not shag, not droop. What the fuck is the hat called? When it like... Anyway, I can't think of the word. Okay, so here's the back seam, right? Find your center front, right? One end of the back, same spot on the front, right? Come together, hold it, right? And then line them up and flip them together, okay? Difficult with one hand here, and because it's so small. So, making sure it doesn't twist. So now you have a hat, roughly hat shaped, right? And it's nice and closed, right? But if you have a ponytail or you have locks, boom, head access. But as long as you keep it closed, your head will be warm. Slouch hat, that's what I was thinking of, slouch. So ultimately you can have this on top of your head and have your ponytail stick through if you want, or your locks if you don't prefer your hats to be silk lined or satin lined, which most people do, which they should, but I won't be because it'll change the design of the hat. Because ultimately, once this is seamed together, you'll be able to like shift the colors, because I'm not going to make a brim on it. It's just going to be sewn, and then this, like, it'll be sewn to be seamless, and it won't be a brim, and you'll be able to like roll it kind of like an awning kind of thing, and you can change which colors appear on the outside and on the inside kind of thing without having to flip it. You just roll it up in there, which will make more sense if this was like anchored. So like, yeah, so that's essentially what it is. And then it also turns into a cowl for your neck if you want. Now this it'll be really snug because I made this to be head sized. Like, it's meant to fit your dome, right? Like here, your dome. So if you don't like super snug around the neck, I would recommend, if you're making this for yourself, to make it a little bigger around. But the ultimate goal is to make a really long tube, because then if you use it as a cowl, it'll gather a lot and be double lined. So yeah. Not a lady, but hello. Thank you. That was very nice of you. Thank you. Oh, light of me. I love you so much. When I let you. Oh, you. My mom just commented on the picture I posted of myself. It's not a bad thing. She's been very supportive of me lately, so I'm very happy about it. It is very, very, very appreciated. Gifts are always welcome. Not required, always welcome, and very much always appreciated. Because with each gift, I can buy wigs that I can work on and change to be how I want, and I can buy makeup and do more looks like this. My last live I did today, I was doing makeup. No, that's the towel. What? 2 hours ago, so that, I think that was the tablet going off. Yeah, it's very helpful. Me too. And that's the other thing too, that my waking time has been shortened because, oh, I love the paper crane and I missed it. My waking time has been shorter for a lot of days and I just can't stay awake. Thank you for all the likes, they're very appreciated too. In other unrelated news, the person that I have had a crush on for longer than I want to admit, flirted back with me today, so that was nice. Even if it doesn't go anywhere, it was still nice. I'm crazy, just poison and tasty. People say, oh, don't walk away. Why have you been up so long? Are you okay? A lot of stuff going on, or stuff on your mind, or something? With no emotion. Is Jess still in here? For those who crochet, I don't know what size yarn this is. It was salvaged. I suspect this is the thinner yarn from one of like the mandala line from what is it, Red Heart? No, Red Heart doesn't make it. Who makes it? I mean, you can buy it at Joann's. I don't remember the brand that makes it, but like the yarn that gradiates from like one color into another, into another, into another, and it comes in like, looks like a cake. Thank you, Lion Brand. I know they do a worsted weight. This is thinner than that, but it's bigger than fingering weight. So it's thicker than sock yarn, but thinner than 4-ply. You know, standard size yarn. And this is a size H hook. I mean, you can see how thin it is, right? And on my hook, right? This is an H size hook. So this pattern is 80 stitches around. What I did was I chained how many was it? I chained 79 and then 2 more. And then I did double crochet across, so it'd be 80 stitches. And then that's where I connected the circle, because that's the easiest way for me, instead of doing like a magic circle or trying to connect the chain, because the chain always twists for me. I even tried that trick where you like chain a few and then stick it on your hook. I don't like doing that. It feels wrong to me somehow. And so what I did was I took the tail and I closed the gap at the bottom. And then it's just, I want it to be super, I'm just going to use the rest of this. I mean, it's a pattern you can modify. That's literally all it is. And then you take your back seam, you twist it until it reaches the front seam, and then you can make it into a headband. I mean, a brim. You can crochet a brim onto it. I'm not going to. I did in the past, but you don't have to. And you can do the same thing with knitting too. Like, it's a super easy pattern. Thank you. Appreciate it. So it's super, super easy. Very customizable. You can do it with a regular size yarn. So you can do the thicker yarns. You just gotta know how many stitches to do that. You know what I'm saying? So how I did that, because I haven't worked with this yarn before, this size yarn before for a hat, is I made a hat with this hook. Like, I started a hat and did all my increase rows and then counted how many that was. So whatever size that I needed, the standard size that I usually make my hats. And then I counted how many stitches that was, and it was actually 75 stitches, but I wanted it to be a little looser than that because that was going to be super snug. And I didn't want to do a full 6th row of increases because that would have been too many increases. So I did 5 rows of increases, and then I added 5 to the count because that's how it worked out. But this current one is 80 stitches, or 80 in the foundation, and I don't know how many rows I'm doing. I'm not counting the rows. It's just however long this specific one ends up, that's how long it'll be. But you can make it however long you want it, as long as when you put the hat on, it covers your head entirely and doesn't poke out the top. Because it's got to keep the crown closed up here. So that's how you know it's long enough, when you fold it in half and it fits your head. So like I said, when you close up the edge, you can put a brim on it, which is however you do brims for your hats. I'm just going to sew it shut and then kind of roll it a little so it's kind of tucked up in there. And that's it. And then you can customize what colors you see. So if you don't want to see any red, you won't. You just want to see blue, you just see blue. It's pretty cool to use this kind of color. It's color changing stuff. Fucking hair stuck to my nose, I can feel it. It's the only reason why I hate wearing makeup is because it's moist and things stick to my face and I can feel it. Like cat hair and fabric dust. It's annoying. What else was I gonna say? I just need 215 people to follow my name. I'll be able to go live there. I want to do podcast style there. You know, multi-stream. Yeah, and I can't find mine, unfortunately. And the only powder I have to use is contour white powder, and that'll take all the color away, unfortunately. My translucent powder is missing. Yes, that absolutely would be what you would use that for. That is the proper thing. I lost mine. I don't know what happened to it. I fell off my bed one day and rolled somewhere, and I never found it again. My room ate it. Unfortunately. I swear I loved you before. I would love to meet someone that I could sing this to. Like at my wedding, you know. Our name's too unfamiliar. I do not believe that my crush is said person. I don't get that feeling from him. I think he's a new soul. But it is nice that he gave me attention today. it is because you are a sponge for information. Love you before. Have I wandered through the desert? Have I looked to the North Star? Have I run the days and nights on rails to get back where you are? Right? That's what I was gonna say. It's the tism. Your eyes see everything. And by yours, I mean ours, everyone's. I mean, well, not everybody, because, like, sometimes it's like, woo, ADHD, what's that over there? You observe the wrong thing, you know? Focus on the wrong thing. Hyperfixation on the wrong destination. Why did I say that? See? I love you, Mama. That's not so. She's behind me. Please don't sneeze on me. I love you, but I would love you less if you do that. I don't want to snap on me. Yes, yes. No! You stay under the blanket. I knew she was going to sneeze. I covered her up so she wouldn't sneeze on me. So. I see you, Jess. Am I in your pocket again? You before. I think I'm in Jess's pocket. Either that or she left and it just hasn't registered that I've left yet. Or that she left, I mean. Excuse me. I feel like the universe is up to something lately. Excuse me. Did you catch my long-winded and very scatterbrained explanation of how I'm making this hat? Close your eyes and trust it. Just trust it. Have you ever thrown a fistful of glitter in the air? Have you ever loved fear? And like I said, if you are unsure how many stitches to do, like if you're making this for yourself, if you're unsure how many stitches to use to start it, like to, you know what I mean? Crochet your hat from top down the way you normally would. Yes, I do. In fact. Girl. Gross. So mean on me. Crochet your hat from the top down the way you normally would, with all your increases to the size that you want it. That you normally wear the hat with whatever yarn you're using. And that's your starting point. That's how many stitches you do the tube. And if you have like multiple sizes, do that. You know what I mean? Like if you're making this for a bunch of people or you're making a bunch of different sizes. Because I know some people have like a size scale that they make different hats in, you know? Do that. I think I borrowed this pattern from a knitting pattern I found a few years ago. You walk before the run, and we're before the phrase. That was not a signal to get up, ma'am.
She's like, what are you doing? I'm curious. Yeah, right.
I don't think she's fully awake.
No, she's not.
Oh my goodness. Nova, you okay, baby? Are you awake? Go back to sleep. It's okay. Go back to sleep, honey. I see your eyeballs open. Yeah, I knew you go. Go back to sleep. Oh, cool. And thank you so much for the gifts. It's very appreciated. Yes, actually, I would like to look up what you're working on. Have you wished for an endless night. That's all the moon and the stars and hold that hope tight. Have you ever held your breath and asked yourself, will it ever get better than tonight? Someone got very forward when I was live last, and it got weird. But not so weird that I was going to block them, but... And then someone else got too, like, are you single? How are you doing? I was talking about how I don't date because I have a kid and my health and stuff, and they're like, well, I would love your kid. And I'm like, not the time or place, my guy. Like, not the time or place. How is Willow doing, Jess? I assume she's doing good. Is she wreaking havoc and causing chaos and breaking hearts? It's funny because everybody in the chat like called him out, and they left. Good. Is she knocking Bubs over, and are they playing like two snugglebugs? I love. Oh, hello. Yeah. She's host for Billy Bob. I love so much that you and that the baby and the pig baby are gonna grow up together. Like, I love that. Did no one see the crumbs on my boobie? Like, what the fuck was that? I didn't even know it was there. Unless it like smoothed it away and you couldn't see it. But I love that Willow and Bubs are gonna grow up together. Like, I love that. Two adorable little peas in a pod. And I'm sure Miss Willow has staked claims on husband. Yes, I'm sure, right? You know. Has she changed color at all? Let's see what my mom says. She says beautiful. But yeah. So the Rose twins. Oh, she lost her Dalmatian. Oh. The Rose twins. One is still super vibrant, Miss Natasha. Or Natalia. I go between the two because she's named after the Marvel character who switches between the two names. And Miss Pepper, which is hilarious, who was as red as she was, as red as Natalia. Excuse me, Nova. No. We are not doing that. Turned a dark brown. She turned a dark brown. So she looks like someone sprinkled pepper on the ground. And I know that it's her because her and Natalia are still bonded. Like, they're a bonded pair. So What do I call them now? I can't call them the Rose Twins anymore because one's red and the other one's not. And Natalia still has a number 2 on her butt. Like, her coloring, like, her spots, like, right above her tail is like a weird swishy number 2. It's like a loop-de-loop. Right above her butt. I mean, right above her tail on her butt. It's so funny. Tinsel and Tarnish, the Trouble Twins. Tinsel and Tarnish, who originally were silver, are now brown. Tinsel is inside because he ended up with porcine stress syndrome, which is a seizure syndrome it's also called porcine travel syndrome, where it traveling makes them have seizures. It's hereditary, Dad probably had it. We don't know who the parents are or who the father was, so Mr. Manpants keeps traveling around. I don't know who he is or where he lives. We can't figure out where the pig is coming from because he's not feral or he would never have left. So he has somewhere he likes to live, and he goes back there. I bet you $1 million that they don't even know he leaves the property. I think he sneaks over and sneaks back, and I think he does it at night. But yeah, so their Tinsel and Tarnish are brown and speckled too. Tinsel, you can still kind of see the red that he used to be. Because he was a reddish color. He wasn't like super red, but he was a red. He was like he went silver. He started out silver, super shiny silver, and then went kind of like a reddish tone. And then, kind of like a brown, but he kept his spots. And then I renamed Pongo Whiskey. And Whiskey's still a Dalmatian. He's still blonde and orange and black spots. He's got white eyelashes. He's so damn pretty. I'd show you, but their pin needs to be cleaned. It's gross. Because they are dicks. They knocked over something in their pin and it got... I mean, you know how pigs are. But no one needs to see that. So it's going to be cleaned up tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow, the next day. Because there's a lot going on. So, I mean, they'll live. It'll be fine. It just looks worse than it is, you know. And then Grayson is, he's a solid color, so he's black. He's a pretty boy. And they all got their little eyelashes, and they all sit and they put their head in the air and they wave it back and forth and they bat their eyes at you. It's really cute. Oh yeah, the first time when we moved them to their quarantine spot in the house, the first time Steph cleaned their litter box, they knocked it over and peed on the floor. And of course it was late at night, so she's like, I'm not doing this tonight. So it waited a day, you know. Oh, I know, he could, anywhere within a 15-mile radius. Excuse me. We've left signs up, because you know they're never going to confess, because they probably don't even know. They probably have no idea their male pig is wandering out of their property. I'm like, if he's intact and he's not fenced in, or you don't have a proper fence, or you think that your electric fence is going to be enough, let me tell you. And Jess, I know you can attest to this, because don't you have an electric fence up, and didn't you have some bald pigs? They like would go underneath it, they got a stripe of missing hair down their backs. So if they smell something good, they're gonna be determined to get out and go explore. You know. That's so funny. The babies. But yeah, we are no longer taking in female pig. We are trying so hard to get rid of what we have, and now we have more, unfortunately, because he came back, and we thought we did a good enough job. But I tell you what, they are determined. Poke right through the fence. Right through the fence. No water, and they tell me to breathe. You would think that the shape of a pig would disallow them to do that through the fence, especially if the fence is really tall. Nope. All they gotta do is get up their front legs high enough. And, because pigs have really long appendages. So, yeah. Yeah. Make this hard on me. And where there's a hole in the fence, there's going to be a baby making session happening, I'll tell you that. Because, oh my God. And people still are convinced that we're doing it on purpose. Like, no, we don't want them, because if we have babies on the property, we can't rescue more animals. Like, we are at our limit. Like, we are over limit. Not legally over limit, but like as far as like our own personal capabilities go, you know. The hard way, they all say things you wanna hear. My heavy heart deep down under you. So if you know anybody, Jess, who wants to travel to Michigan, we found homes for some, and we thought we got them all as far as the ones that are capable, and some aren't. And Easter, we go out, and there were some surprises in the pig yard. 2. I think there's 3 at least. You know, the one I saw today, I think he's a little dark one. I don't know if it's a boy or girl. It's a little dark one. 2 silver ones and 1 dark one. But the dark one was hiding, so we didn't see him on Easter. We just saw the 2 silver ones. Boy and a girl. And we yelled that at Ralph, too. He's like, you got more babies? I said, not on purpose. He goes, what do you mean not on purpose? Don't you have any boys there? I said, no, sir. They are not intact here. We had a vet check. And so we don't know where he's coming from. And unfortunately, I mean, because people are like, well, why don't you get the girl spayed? I'm like, well, do you have $1,200 per pig? Because the girls are exceptionally expensive to get spayed. And that's not even counting the travel to get it done. Because our oldest female is ginormous. And she is very expensive. They want $1,200 to $1,500 to spay her. Because she's so big. And a lot of places will not spay the females before they hit puberty. Some of them will, some of them won't. But you gotta be careful of that too, because, you know, the horror stories and the survivability, you know. Because it's not like the boys where you go in and it's 2 snips and you're done. Was it 4 snips? Two slices and 2 snips? And like a tie off and that's it? Or 2 tie offs? Is it slice, snip, tie off? You know, that's it. That's it for boys. It's a whole ass surgery for girls. Yeah. Well, I mean, the boys, they numb them first. It's not like they're not anesthetized. They are. They are. But the procedure is super fast. Hi, baby. Hello, pretty girl. Yeah, they're numbed first. It's more invasive if they're potbelly pigs. A lot of states have, like, instead of doing farm yard neuters, where a vet can do it like in the yard, literally. Potbellied pigs apparently have a really high risk of like herniation and all kinds of stuff. So they have to be over a certain age, and they have to do it in the vet's office. A lot of them will not do potbelly pigs in the yard. But yeah, even yard neuters are, farm yard neuters are, they get anesthesia, or at least if they're really tiny, they get oh yeah. Or here's the kicker: the $600 one has a 1 in 12 occurrence rate of hernia, irreversible hernia in female space, in the space for female pigs. 1 in 12. What the fuck? Irreparable. So, and you know what that means, right? If they can't repair a hernia, you know what that means? Then you have to pay the cost of euthanasia, which is per pound. And then, because they've been euthanized, you have to cremate them, which is also per pound. So that cremation, because you can't bury them, it's illegal to bury a euthanized animal because the chemicals can contaminate the groundwater. An animal of that size being cremated is anywhere between $400 to $1,000 because of weight. In the state of Michigan, if you promise really hard to have them cremated, they will euthanize at home, and you can do a Viking funeral, but you cannot bury them. They have to be burned. Because Michigan is well water in most cases. In the country, it's all well water, so you cannot bury euthanized animals in the ground. It's illegal. Plus, you run the risk of poisoning yourself. To have Bubby cremated, he was 150 pounds or something like that. It was $400. This was a few years ago. It's $400 to have him euthanized. To have him cremated, and he passed the natural causes. So at least we didn't have a euthanasia cost on top of that. So yeah. It's cheaper to neuter males, and it's super expensive. Just pay females. And then if they get a hernia that can't be repaired, then you have to pay for the euthanasia, and that's expensive too. So all in all, it is extremely expensive. Maybe I'm a girl, maybe I'm a lonely girl who's in the middle of something she doesn't really understand. Hello, Nita Puss. And Miss Windy Girl. This blue is gonna be so long on this. Oh my gosh, look how much blue there is. It's gonna be so long. This blue. So it's gonna be like alternate colors on the edges, and even on one end is still gonna be blue. Miss Windy Girl. I know the Nova dog ate the cat food. I know she did. I know she did. I'm sorry. I know the Nova dog ate your cat food. Yes. Come on. Hello. Hello. This Miss Windy Girl. Oh, you guys can't see her. Oh, you see her nose kind of. Come on, you get her? Yeah, hi. See how pretty you are. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. That's her is. Yes. You're so pretty. Yes, you are. You're so pretty. Yeah. She's an old girl. You need your butt rubbies? You need your butt rubs? Yeah, did your hips sore today? Yeah, just hit it up. I'll be gentle. Don't worry. You don't hurt your hips. You're so pretty, Wendy. Yeah. Hello, the anxious crafter. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. Miss Wendy girl. Wendy girl. Yeah, hi. Maybe I'm the good, maybe you're the only man who could ever help me. Baby, won't you help me understand? So pretty. Yes, you are. Baby, today. This is Wendy. Wendy is, we suspect, Ragamuffin and Maine Coon. I mean, you can't possibly not be Maine Coon with that face. This is Wendy's full name. Wendy with an I, because she just blew into our lives one day. And that became her whole entire name because I say that literally every time I introduce her. So it's become her name, and I call her Wendy Girl for short. She's my Wendy girl. Yes, she's my Wendy girl. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. She's a Wendy girl. Yeah, she's pretty. She is a muted tortie. That's what she's called. Yeah. You show off your tail? Look at that tail. That's that pretty tail. Look how pretty that tail is. Yeah. Yeah. Her loving face and her resting bitch face are the same face. And she has a very specific sound for Mom, the water bowl's empty. Yep. Isn't it right? Don't you? Yeah, you tattle on the water bowl when it's empty. Yeah. You're so pretty. She only does it when the water bowl's empty. She doesn't talk to me when the food bowl's empty, but she will come and sit and look at me and stare. Look how beautiful that face is. She has such a gorgeous little face. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that tail, that pretty tail. Yeah, you do have a pretty tail. You're so brave today. Yes, you are so brave today. I always tell her how brave she is. When she first came to us, she didn't know what kisses were or anything, so I went to kiss her face. Like I do all the other cats, just out of habit, and she smacked me, of course, because I crossed the boundary I didn't know was there. And so I had to teach her what was a mosquito. I had to teach her what kisses were, that they weren't dangerous or scary. And that also helped. I mean, I don't do it often, only if she presents the top of her head to me. But I also wanted to get her used to having a face near her face, so that if the vet ever had to look up close to her, she wouldn't like freak out as much. So it's sort of a desensitized. So it started out with like me rubbing the top of her head with my chin and that kind of thing. And her version of a kiss is I will put my head down like this, and she kind of like sniffs my face. And then I tell her how brave she is, because it's very brave of her for her face to be that close to my face. So I always tell her how brave she is, because she's a brave girl. She's always doing the big scary thing. So yeah, you're always doing the scary thing, huh? Because you're brave. So brave. Yeah. You're so brave. Yeah. Joy And then when I have to check her belly for mats because she's super long hair and I don't want to have to shave her, I always tell her how brave and good she is and how tolerant she is for letting me check her belly for mats and under her armpits. And of course her butt, because no one needs a dirty butt. I made sure your sanitary regions are nice and pristine. Yeah. And she's pretty good about it, so. But once she can't, I'll have to trim it. There's only been like 1 or 2 times where I've had to trim it. There's only been like 1 or 2 times I've had to trim her back end, and that was when she first came to us, and I suspect that like because of malnourishment or whatever, she was like in a lot of pain. So she couldn't like squat properly and clean properly. And so I had to clean her backside a few times, but it wasn't like messy, it was just stuff stuck to her, you know. Then I'm like, oh, you got some berries back there, honey. Yeah, but we got rid of them. Yes, we did. Yeah, I only had to fix it once or twice. Yeah. And then you took care of it, and you were very careful after that, because she did not like feeling that hair being trimmed. She did that that scoop thing when they're like when you like when they're getting away from your hand, like you try to pet like their hindquarters or like rub down their legs or anything like that, and you tickle their long hairs or something, and they do that, like they tuck their butt and they like scoop forward, like they wiggle forward away from your hand or whatever. She did that because it tickled. She did not like that experience. So and yes, I laughed. I know, that was mean. I laughed because it was funny. Like when they get a blast of cold air to their butt. It was pretty funny. She didn't talk to me for like 3 days. She hid underneath the cat tree and would only stick her head out far enough to eat, because that's where I would feed them before I started feeding them in the bathroom where there was more space. And she wouldn't look me in the face or nothing. I was like, well, don't make me clean your butt, and I won't have to make this awkward for either one of us. So, yeah. But you were brave. That's okay. There's no shame in needing help every once in a while. Yeah. Yeah. Are you good? No, not today? Okay, that's okay. Maybe just a tiny bit brave? Oh, that was a tiny brave. Tiny brave. Tiny brave is better than no brave. Yeah, tiny brave. Right? Yeah. Tiny brave. She was tiny brave. Tiny brave. Yeah. Into your mind. No, don't you sneeze on the back of my head. You stay over there. Hi. Yeah. Well, this allergy season is hitting everybody hard. Everybody's got the sneezes. Yeah. You gonna sit right there? Sit right there. Yes, I do. I remember your screen, your picture. I couldn't read your screen name because I didn't turn my brightness up enough to be able to actually read it. I didn't have my glasses on either, but I remember your icon there, that right there. I remember that. But yeah, I remember. The waterside, night after night, hearing a sound. The wings that come beating, I do not hide. I will know why. Oh, cool. I will crawl. What is that? Maybe later. There's a follow request on one of my other Instas. I actually. Oh, really? Miss Maddie, where'd you go? Matilda? Where'd she go? I guess she left. Maddie. I guess she walked off. Matilda. No? Were you lying? I think she faked us out. Oh, you're gonna fall. Uh-oh. My ears have graduated to the larger size. I'm making a hat, actually. My ears have graduated to the larger size, so the what are these called? The rings, the O-rings, aren't as effective, and one just fell in my cleavage, and I just put it back on my ear. So it's like slipped back and forth. Thank you for the follow. I'm actually making a hat. And it's a hat that will open and close to accommodate a ponytail, or like a bun, or locks if you have locks, or braids if you have braids that come to the top of your head, kind of thing. Well, they'll be lower than that because this is it's gonna be a slouch hat style. So. But the hat stays closed until you stretch the other end of it. I have 7 indoor and 1 outdoor because we are an animal rescue. We had a whole bunch of COVID kittens we rehomed. And because vets weren't spaying and neutering, which I think is utterly ridiculous and very irresponsible. Because that to me feels like a necessary service. Several of them are special needs. Zaza and Wendy are our oldest. Zaza was here first. She's my cat. Then we ended up with Littlefoot, Roswell, Arrow, and Pumpkin. Roswell was rehomed to a different home because she's wall-eyed, which means her eyes point out in opposite directions. And she had really poor depth perception, and so we rehomed her because she kept bumping into the walls going up and down the stairs. When she tried to turn the corner, she would turn too soon. And she never learned the actual depth position of where the corner is on the wall. So we wanted her to be safe, so we rehomed her somewhere different so she'd be safe. But Wendy's older, has arthritis. Littlefoot has a little bit of PTSD. Arrow has IBS. Pumpkin probably has hypothyroidism, or hyperthyroidism. Zaza has a smaller than average bladder and has arthritis. Matilda and Pumpkin are both hard of hearing. Maya has balance issues because of the top of her tail is broken and it healed at a 90-degree angle, and that was healed before we got to her. And the vet said that they're not going to re-break it because it can risk causing more neurological damage. And she also has one properly working eye. And the other eye needs to be removed because it's too small. It's not a hindrance to her, but it can be when she's older, so it's just better to remove it now. And she needs to be spayed because she wasn't healthy enough to be spayed when the others were spayed and neutered, so. She does not go outside because we do not need babies. Excuse me. So, yeah. And then Tabitha is our barn cat. She actually patrols the property. And of course we kind of like ignore her because she's so talkative. Not ignore her, but like sometimes she's just very chatty, especially when she's like excited about catching a bird or a mouse. Like she tells you all about it kind of thing. So before we discovered the piglets in the yard, she was very chatty the last 2 days. And I'm like, oh, well, that explains why she was so excited, because she was more chatty than usual. And then once we realized they were out there, she's like, oh, I don't have to tell you anymore. So she just kind of like did her own thing after that. And then last night, Arrow kept getting out because I don't know what crawled up his butt. And she kept trying to show him how to get back in. She's like, no, you belong inside. Like, she would go inside and she'd look back at him and, like, talk to him. Like, meow and vocalize and stuff. And she'd walk through the door. And then as soon as he would follow her in, she would turn right back around and run back outside because that's where she prefers to be. And he's like, well, wait a minute. I want to be outside, too. And then he would sneak out again, like, every time someone walked out the door. So he did this, like, 4 or 5 times. And she, in turn, did that also 4 and 5 times. Showed him, like, no, you're supposed to be inside. It's kind of funny. She's like, no, I'm the outside cat. You're the inside cat. Like, she treated him like he was dumb or something. It was really cute. She's a character. But we don't usually count her in our numbers because it's kind of like inconsequential, really. Because she is our barn cat. Like, she lives mostly outside. She only comes in during the winter when it's too cold for her to stay outside. So we try to, we don't not really count her in our intake. Yes, I'm refreshing Twitter because I had a notification, but it wasn't for this account. So I was like, wait a minute, there's a number there, but there is no notification. Oh, it was something different. Okay, whatever. I'm just double checking that there's nothing going on that needs my attention, so. I'm gonna thank you for it. Hope stuff's okay. I went out earlier today. I wish I'd gotten a picture of it, and all the pigs were sunbathing. They were all enjoying the sun rays. Looked like they were all hooked up to chargers. It was really cute. Some of them were cuddling, and some of them weren't. Frank was kind of laying by himself, and Frank is a very forward pig. But he can't see either, so he's just like, who are you? He always looks like a grumpy old man. We call him the dinosaur because he kind of looks like one. I want to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, so we do, our rescue does have a TikTok. It's Hippie Hug Refuge, in case anybody cares. I haven't really been active on there lately because between being sick and all that stuff, it's just been really difficult to get out to the pig pen and make content, especially with the snow and stuff. So, and they have their own little houses with heaters and whatnot, so they're nice and warm and toasty. Soon we'll be able to turn all the heaters off because it will stop being, the temperature will stop dropping at night. So. Sweet girl. You're so
my goodness, you have a big mouth. So beautiful. You're so pretty, girl.
Alright. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out.
Yawning, baby. Pretty girl. It's you, you're a pretty girl.
Oh, I never clicked on the thing for her. For them, not her. Jesus. Thinking about two different people at the same time. Oh my god, that is so pretty. Oh shit, that is beautiful. That is really cool. That looks complicated as fuck. That looks like I would lose my ever-loving mind after like 5 minutes of trying to work on that. Oh my goodness. I don't know if Starshine is still in here, but oh my gosh.
Ow! Ow, 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 ow. Don't do that. I am flesh, my love. That hurt you. You sunk your claws into my flesh. There is skin under that skirt, honey. It's my leg. It is not fur. It doesn't protect me. It hurts. It just keeps me modest. It doesn't keep me protected. Yeah. Ha! Stupid mosquito.
Mosquitoes are out. Fun fact, only female mosquitoes bite. Male mosquitoes eat nectar. And I don't care what every wiki says and what any scientists say, I have legitimately seen mosquito hawks eat mosquitoes. So they have evolved. I have seen one swoop out of the air and catch one and eat it. So tell me they don't have the mouth parts for that. I've seen it. Because mosquito hawks are a whole different breed in the South. Hello, patiently. How you doing, hon? Are you crocheting tonight, or are you just popping in for a second? Oh, Wendy, stop, honey. Baby, 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 baby. Let go. Stop doing that. It hurts. Stop grabbing me, please.
During the time of which I speak, it was hard to turn
You cheek
to the blows of insecurity.
being the cancer of my intellect, the blood of love, so
Stop it.
lay dying in the strength of its impurity. And all our friends we thought were so together,
they've all gone and left each other in search of heroin. Here in our storm and drink a toast to the slim chance of
I think next time when I do the orange, I think I'm gonna do it exactly how I did my lipstick. Where I am in the younger days, stargazing, painting picture perfect maps how my life and love would be. Not counting the unmarked paths of misdirection, my compass paved in love's perfection. I missed a million miles of road I should have seen. You are my friends, we thought we saw together. Left each other one by one on the road to farewell. Here in our storm and drink a toast to love's slim chance of lost recovery. Rain soaked and voice choked like silence screaming in a dream. I search for absolute distinction. Not content to now and then the winds of culture that swoop like vultures, eating us away, eating us away, eating us away to our extinction. Ow, I know you like when I sing, but you gotta stop with the nails. It hurts.
Oh, how I wish I
Stuff
were
your foot on my leg.
So if
I lost a part of me, I'd still have to love the same day.
but nobody gets
Ow, stop. Specks of dust, universal. Let this love survive and be the greatest gift. I'm gonna send you away if you don't stop with them nails, Wendy. It hurts, honey.
tell all the friends who
Think they're so together that these are ghosts and horizons, always thoughts. Ow, Wendy, stop. I feel safe within the arms of lost discovery. Ow, stop, Wendy. I know you like when I sing, baby, but you gotta stop with the claws. Quit making biscuits. Violent, painful biscuits on my leg. Yeah, you was making very violent, painful biscuits on my leg. You can move to a different part of my leg. You are so funny. She has moved to a different part so that apparently it won't hurt as bad.
One world away,
You're so funny.
I
Make
may
believe
while
I'm
I'm
wide awake. Just a drip of light to bring me back around again. Those wild eyes, a psychedelic silhouette. I never meant to fall for you then. What's buried underneath and all that I can see was white. My salvation, my salvation, my. You are the snowstorm, I'm purified. The darkest fairy tale in the dead of night. And the vampire. Well, I fucked that up. Home again, glorious sweet transit into a psychedelic silhouette. I never meant to fall my salvation, my salvation, my Will you please stop trying to grab my yarn? That's not a note I can hit right now. That's not even a note she can hit, really. I mean, she can, but no, it sounds like a string to me. Sweetie girl, you're so pretty. She's like draped around my knee. Alright, y'all, I am gonna have to end soon because I need a break. So, that's what I'm gonna do. And this, hopefully I'll have more done tomorrow and I can do like a demonstration of how it's gonna look and stuff. I'll post it on TikTok. I know I keep saying that. I know I keep not posting a whole lot of content, but at some point I will. So, but yeah. Oh. Excuse me. So I'm gonna take my break. I'm going to retire for the night. Feed these babies. You sweetie girl, her pretty tail. Yes, you got a pretty tail. Yes, you do. A pretty tail. Have we play it? You play a little? Yeah. Yeah. Tell me? No? So cute. Do you want to play or are you mad? Which one is it? You play a little? Yeah. It's okay. You're so brave. Yeah, it's okay. No playing, or was that a boundary? Was that a boundary? Okay. You didn't want your chest scratched? Okay, it's okay. That's what I was asking. Do you want more? More? Okay, right there. Oh, sorry. Did I get your ear? I'm sorry, honey. Did I tickle your ear? I'm sorry. Okay. Alright, I will see you guys later. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I hope to see you next time.